With Ocedar being America's #1 mop and my personal favorite, today I'm going to be sharing with you guys 8 unique ways to use this mop that does not involve mopping your floors. And the last hack is my absolute favorite because I get to use this new accessory that I found for my mop. Now, the very first thing that I use my mop for that does not involve the floors is to mop my walls. Now, this has been quite the controversial topic because when I posted about this, a lot of people were shocked that you're supposed to mop your walls. If you grew up in an immigrant household, this is something that was done regularly, at least once or twice a year, to ensure that your house smells fresh, looks clean, and the walls are not sticky and grimy with fingerprints. Now, the method is simple. You simply take a clean mop head like this one and you go ahead and use it like a regular mop. I personally love to use the Gain all-purpose cleaner because it leaves my house smelling amazing and it does a really great job of degreasing and taking off fingerprints. I would use the mop as I regularly would for the floors. I go ahead and I wring it out pretty dry, I would say, and I mop my entire house with it. Let me know in the comments down below if you grew up mopping your walls. Now, the second thing that I use my mop for is for windows. This is a hack that I just recently discovered and it blew me away. If you're someone who struggles with knee pain, back pain, or you just can't reach, this is the hack for you. Now, for this method, you won't even need the bucket. You simply need the handle and the mop head. I like to use the blue one because I feel like it's smaller and it's able to fit into all kinds of nooks and crannies. And I take a very dry mop head and I go ahead and I spray on my favorite glass cleaning solution. I always get this asked all the time, and it's the spray away glass cleaner. I spray the entire glass from top to bottom, and working very quickly up and down and side to side motions, I go ahead and I buff in the solution. Now, this is the secret to get streak-free windows. You have to buff in the solution with your dry mop head. Now, this next hack has been an absolute lifesaver in the summertime. If you have dirty trash cans, trash bins, you know, the ones that the city provides for you, nobody likes to clean those out because who's gonna go in and reach in and, you know, get into that gunk? Absolutely nobody. But I discovered that when you take this amazing extendable handle and you also put in one of these bad boys on that, get in there with some Dawn, some soapy water, you don't even have to touch or reach into the actual trash bin, and it gets it so squeaky clean every single time. This is something I'm going to be putting into my regular cleaning schedule because it was simply that easy. I also do this to my kitchen trash cans regularly because same thing, I don't have to get in there. If some kind of leak happens, something spilled, I don't have to touch it with my hands. Now, on to my next favorite use for this mop, cleaning your blinds. We moved into a rental house that was nicely put, neglected. However, with a little bit of elbow grease and determination, we got this place to look presentable. And one of the things that we did is we used this mop to go ahead and clean our blinds. And this is something you can regularly do. Now, for this, you want to use your mop bucket right here. Fill it with a good degreasing solution. The reason I recommend a degreasing solution instead of just an all-purpose one is because over time, when you cook, as you live, as pet hair, body oils, all kinds of things, they tend to gather on our walls as well as our blinds. If you just use a multi-purpose cleaner, it might do the job, but using a degreaser will cut your time in half. I recommend the LA's Totally Awesome Degreaser. I get it at the dollar store. Sometimes you find it, other times you don't. I add in a splash of all-purpose cleaner as well as this degreaser into my mop bucket water, and then I wring out my mop head really well. You don't want the mop head to be too drippy, too wet, because you're gonna cause a muddy mess in your home. Once I do a first round of mopping the blind, I go in with a clean solution of just warm water, and then I rinse off everything so that there is not a buildup on the blinds, because if you leave a buildup on the blinds of cleaning solution, it's actually going to attract more dirt. Okay, this next one is probably my husband's favorite because it gets me to do a chore that typically he has to do. I actually love this mop for cleaning and washing our car. Now, because the microfiber pads are so soft and gentle, they are totally fine for any kind of car paint. I fill up a nice, warm, hot bucket of water and I put in a cleaning solution. You want to make sure that your cleaning solution is approved for car use. A lot of household detergents are actually not safe for your car paint, so make sure that the solution that you're putting into the water is safe for your car. With the extendable pole, it's super easy to get on top of the car into like nooks and crannies around the wheels and to buff the solution into the paint so that when you rinse it off with the hose, there are no streaks. Okay, we have to talk about this next one because this next one blew my mind. Again, like I said, we moved into a rental house and the vents, the blinds, the walls were absolutely atrocious. And I have to tell you that I initially tried to dry dust my really tall vents with a Swiffer. Let me tell you, that did not work. It only created a massive mess all over my living room. Onto the wet dusting technique with the mop. You're going to also take a nice hot soapy tub of water in your bucket and you're going to dip in your mop head. Again, I love that extendable pole because I am not very tall. I'm not going to use a ladder because who has time for that? So I'm going to stand on my couch and I'm going to use my extendable pole and I'm going to reach that, I don't know, 12-foot ceiling that we have and wet dust my vents. When I tell you how shocked I was with the amount of dirt that came out of there and how easy it was to dust those vents. Now, if you absolutely love cleaning your kitchen cabinets all the time, raise your hand. Yeah, me neither. So the next use that I found that has been absolutely perfect for this mop is to clean my kitchen cabinet. Over time, as you cook, no matter how good your vent system is in your kitchen, cooking grease and dust builds up on those cabinets. It looks disgusting, it feels slimy, and it stinks. So once again, taking a very hot bucket of water, adding in just a dash of degreasing solution and some Dawn in here. Go ahead and soak your mop head in here, wring it out really well. You want the mop head to be damp and not super moist and wet because you also want to make sure that you're not damaging the wood. And taking your mop head going up and down, I love that I can reach the tall cabinets, but at the same time, I can also reach down below and get the baseboards as well without having to actually reach down, get on my knees, grab another cloth, and do that as a separate job. This is literally a one-tool gadget. Okay, if you stuck around for the last one, this has been my favorite one because I recently discovered this cool attachment right here that attaches to the Ocedar mop head. Right here. Absolutely hate cleaning the shower because let's be honest, who actually loves cleaning the shower, right? But with this little attachment right here, it has bristle brushes on it because let's be realistic, you're not gonna use a soft microfiber cloth to really deep clean a tiled shower or a tiled floor because this is great for hardwood floors, but if you have tile, you really need to get something that scrubs and does a really great job getting all of that gunk out. And although this scrubber attachment is not made by Ocedar, it fits perfectly onto the mop head. This allows you to also really get in deep into the tile and to scrub the dirt away. This also works great for just hardwood floor if you have a really dirty floor that has stuck on stains that you don't want to bend down and really scrub on your hands and knees. I'm sure there's probably so many more uses for this mop than I've already mentioned, but if you have a unique way that you use this mop, would you let me know down in the comments? I absolutely love finding new ways to use the same product so I'm not buying more products than I actually need. As always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video.
Thank you.